Talking about the heavy tea road.
All right, the moment is here.
Yeah.
Our special guests have made it into the studio. Finally, Horty was holding them outside, talking their ear off, trying to find out if anyone wanted to purchase those patents he has on pantyhose for your grow room.
Got patents for sale. They're fresh. A-game stands for acquisition. Got 18 years left. Got more patents in the works right now. Holler at your boy.
So you want another?
You can leave your business card underneath the windshield wiper of that silver Audi in the parking lot. It can be discreet.
So you want another shot, Chris?
Yeah, probably.
I'm good.
Welcome, gentlemen. We have Matthew Durst, inside sales over at General Hydro. Is that your correct title, Matt?
Yeah, that'll work for tonight. Thank you for having me.
All right. We have Ross Haley, CEO of General Hydroponics and founder of Vermicrop as well, right?
Correct, yeah. Thanks for having us.
Welcome. We have Chris Hagedorn. Did I say it right?
You did.
Close enough?
Yeah, close enough.
My Dutch is a little off. From the Hawthorne Group.
Winning.
Welcome, sir. And representing Vermicrop as well is our man, Will. I don't know your last name, Will.
It's Ford, like the truck, my friend.
All right. Those are good trucks. Have one in the parking lot. All right, guys. We all know what went down a couple weeks ago. The Hawthorne Group entered the indoor gardening game in a big way. They came in and they purchased the oldest and largest hydroponic nutrient company, General Hydroponics, along with their organic line and their organic soil, Vermicrop, for roughly, I believe the terms that were public were about $130 million. Is that about right, guys?
I read that in the news
Give
as well.
or take, you read that as well?
Give or take a couple hundred
Okay, so
dollars.
So there has been a tremendous amount of speculation, questions going around about what this move means for the hydroponic industry. We all know that the hydro industry has been built on ingenuity, integrity, loyalty. Some people feel, and with all due respect, Chris, that Hawthorne coming in, spending that kind of money, kind of invited themselves in without being invited in. And hydroponics has typically been kind of a closed door. You have to be invited into the industry. So there's a lot of fear, speculation, all those things going on. Okay, and we're here to have a dialogue, a conversation with our listeners, with each other about what this all means. Okay. First off, the simplest question, Ross, in the deal, what is going to change for GH in the near future and in the further down the line?
I'd say in the near future, nothing. You know, our saying right now around the offices is stay the course. You know, we have been doing really well for a long time, making good decisions, being loyal to our customers, being loyal to our distributors. We have a lot of friends and family. We're all raised in this industry, so it's stay the course. You know, with the long-term vision of with our new partner Hawthorne is to have the tools and the resources to grow the company, innovate for the hydroponic industry, and use those tools and resources to move faster than we were before, but with the same integrity and the same people and the same factories that we've always been doing it with.
Make it a little bit more efficient.
Well, efficiency, sure, but it's more about.
You guys are streamlined. Like you go to the GH headquarters, it's like
it's
walking
legit.
into a Silicon Valley headquarters. Everything's streamlined, very organized, very well run, and innovative. You guys have been innovators in the industry. You guys basically started the industry in '77, or Larry did.
Larry Brook did, absolutely. He's a founder. He's a pioneer of our industry, and we try to stay on our A game. We're A plus or go home, so we're going to continue that.
And for you guys, either the GH guys, is it kind of disheartening and hurt you guys that you see people crucifying Larry for this move and trying to make him seem basically like a villain in the whole thing? And like Ross just said, he made this industry for all of us, right? And he was the hero of the industry for decades and decades, and now people are just trying to chop him off at the knees. Well, how do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, Larry hasn't changed one bit.
I know.
Everything Larry's done.
He wasn't allowed to come on the show. David said no.
Yeah, no. Larry has done so much for this industry, and Larry still will be absolutely 100% part of this industry. He is continuing to be a part of our lives. Everyone has worked for GH, put time in with GH. Larry's not going anywhere. And it is a little hard when we hear the things that we hear, but we kind of, we're going to expect it. And that's one of the reasons we're here tonight, is to make sure people understand the truth, know where we're coming from, and where we're going.
So that's good to hear that the personnel, the quality, the manufacturing process, the loyalty to the small gardening centers is what a lot of people are concerned about. Because, Chris, Hawthorne Group is relatively new. You guys formed in October of last year, right?
Yep.
You guys are a subsidiary, though, of Scott's Miracle-Gro, which is a mega gardening company, revenue in the billions of dollars.
Largest in the world.
Yeah, people get nervous about that. So what is the idea of coming in and taking, not taking over, but purchasing, which is primarily a niche marketed nutrient company, right? And for a large sum of money, is it that Hawthorne thinks that the indoor gardening is going to become that much more prevalent, that the millennials, the people that as urban centers become more populated, they're going to have smaller gardens, they're going to turn to hydroponics more? Or is this something to come into a specialty market that we're seeing, evolve right before our eyes nowadays?
It's a bit of both. We've been super honest and upfront about kind of what Hawthorne's about, and it's been sort of three what we think of as three pillars, which is sort of indoor urban, because you look at the whole Scott's Miracle-Gro catalog, and what we don't have is products designed for people who live in urban areas.
Right.
We got big bags of soil, we got big containers, and if you use Miracle-Gro the way it's designed, you buy a 5-pound box, that'll last someone in a city like 10 years.
Right.
I think I still have one from my mother back in the 70s.
There you go.
But it was in the round tin or the actual cardboard round thing. It was crazy.
Yeah, so we set out to get after indoor, urban, natural organic, and hydro. It's, stuff that we saw as really big growth areas, really exciting areas, places young people went to garden, and gardening that was sort of agreed with our philosophy, kind of sustainability, that sort of thing, organic, feed your family. So we see it emerging for sure. We see it as a niche now, but I think niche. I think it talks down to the category and the consumer, because this is where gardening's going. It's just as more people move to the cities, most of the world is going to be living in cities in a few years, and we want to be ready for that.
Right, and hydroponics, even though it's had a stigma for a long time, I don't know if you guys heard on the way in, but stores get their bank accounts closed just because of the name hydroponics on their account, because people automatically assume hydroponics means marijuana cultivation, which it doesn't. But even banks will close stores down, refuse business to people. And what I was saying earlier on was a company like Hawthorne coming in kind of now legitimizes and takes away a lot of those things, because I don't see having a big player like that in our industry and looking out after our interests is a good thing. But then the question is, are you going to look after our interests, and how are you going to do that, Chris?
Well, I think, I can sit here and talk about, and I will, talk about all the ways that we're going to do it. But the bottom line is that nothing's going to mean as much as action. So, we will come through and sort of prove what we're going to talk about. But when we sort of created Hawthorne, when SMG gave us sort of the ability to go out and do this, which I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. I couldn't go out and try and form partnerships with companies like GH and Vermicrop,
right,
without the backing of that bigger company. And the whole idea was to do business a different way. If we were just going to sell things through the traditional sort of Scott's Miracle-Gro sales channels, then Scott's Miracle-Gro would do that. The reason we founded a company in New York, close to urban areas, founded, staffed by young people,
right,
was to get after younger consumers. And the fact of the matter is that, that younger consumer, it's more engaged, it knows a lot more about the companies it buys from, and sort of talking a big game and not backing it up wouldn't work. It doesn't work.
Right.
And you see it in other categories, and we know it's the same in gardening. And we had no interest in going out and trying the same thing we'd seen other people try and fail at. So backing things up, staying true to the categories that our companies that we're partnering with have been in and grown in,
right,
is really important to us.
So people are concerned that now the GH3 part, which is probably the highest selling nutrient, base nutrient in the hydroponic community, is going to be on every big box store. You know, Scott's Miracle-Gro biggest customers are Walmart, Lowe's, and Home Depot. And people are deathly afraid that those big box stores and the purchasing power are going to push the mom and pop stores out of the business. And they see this as a moving to that, because those are your, you know, and it's, to me, it's justified in thinking like that until we see what happens. Actions do speak louder than words. But you guys spent $130 million. You got to have a game plan in point. Is the game plan to keep it in and make stronger relationships with the small garden centers, or to take it to those big box stores?
Our game plan is to stick with the retail channels that GH and Vermicrop's been successful in so far, dedicated hydro channels specifically. I mean, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but how many new hydro stores open across the country every year?
No, I'm not sure off the top of my head
actually,
either. It
we had
depends
a
on the
small
market.
surge a few years ago that was kind of like a boom, and everybody thinking that they could run a hydro store. And then they all went in and said, okay, I pay $100, so it's $110, even though it retails for $200. And they did that until they just ran themselves out of business.
It was a race to the bottom.
So it has kind of shrunk back down a little bit, but I still think that you're correct. Every time a state passes legislation or new laws that open up the potential for people to grow their own whatever at home, I think that you immediately, as my company, I start seeing my distributors are opening distribution centers in states that they never had them in before, because they're close to states that are coming around. So I think that you're correct that
in the
it
last
will continue to grow. There's states that have 2 or 3 stores, and they have a population that could support 20 or 30 stores.
Yeah, so for us, we think it's going to keep us busy just servicing the channels that GH has been in Vermicrop for the foreseeable future. And look, the people back in Ohio, they do a fine job with their channels.
Yes.
We want to do a good job with ours.
So you're looking to reestablish the continuity of what GH has done for the past 38 years and continue that. But see, I get a release, and it may just be somatics or something, but it says Hawthorne Group is looking to help GH expand their business, but to me, GH is already in every single hydro shop, stocked to the brim with it. They're selling as much as they can. How's Hawthorne going to expand their business without going to other retailers? Well,
I think we got to look at sort of business expansion, business optimization, I guess is a good word for it, where, you talk about how efficient GH runs right now, but, the bottom line is that you see a lot of companies in the space just due to their size, which is big for the space, but relatively speaking, it's pretty small.
Right.
And all these guys are pretty much they're in Cali, they're in maybe Arizona, the Pac Northwest. When you're shipping a bag of dirt across the country, that's a tough way to do business.
Right.
So if we can say, if we can make Vermicrop soil, and this is only to the standards of the guys that are making Vermicrop soil or GH nutrients, if we can make that on the East Coast and service those retailers just as well, and take cost out for us, for the retailer and the consumer, then I think that's a good way to solve it. And not a lot of people in the category have the money, just the capital to pull that off.
Right. So
it does require an investment to do that.
So this doesn't happen overnight, obviously. You do your due diligence. October to now is a relatively short amount of time, but I'm sure that you had certain people within your eyesight that you wanted to take advantage of. And I know that companies like Hawthorne, larger companies, don't just have their eyes on particularly one company. But why GH? Why did you guys choose GH to partner up with?
Well, when we started sort of looking around in the hydro industry, Hawthorne has only been sort of incorporated since October. We've had a team in place that was just sort of a nameless team in New York, working for a while, really since sort of last January, and that was when we first started talking to Ross, talking to Larry, David, all those guys. And when you go through the list of companies in the hydro space, the sort of top dogs, we want someone with weight, someone with good market penetration.
Yep.
And that's a relatively short list of people who you can say they're in pretty much every shop.
Yes.
So we went down that list and we said, we just started making calls. Right. Who wants to talk? Who's interested? And who do we think is a sort of a good fit for us at Hawthorne? And one of the really big things for me was, you say, can they do business right? And of course, that's sort of a given.
Yeah. Well, a lot of hydro companies. Look, I own stores. I've imported a lot of stuff. I've had business partners that literally they're go to the accountant at tax time with a shoebox full of receipts.
Oh, and those dudes weren't on our list.
Yeah, no, exactly. The organization is important. And the hydro industry isn't the most organized motherfuckers in the world.
No, we learned that going around.
Oh yeah, you show us your books. They're like, Here's
Exactly.
our
What books?
Yeah,
We
so-
don't read.
And and this is one of the things where we went in and we saw you meet Ross, and you meet Larry, and they're family. They're actually family.
Absolutely.
And for me, and for my family, because SMG, sort of as big as they may be, and they're still they're relatively speaking compared to sort of other real big companies, we're not that.
It
big.
is your family business. Your grandfather started it, right?
Well, my grandpa started Miracle-Gro,
Okay.
and we merged with Scott's back in '95.
Okay.
And then we were up to break off Hawthorne,
Right.
recently. But I grew up. Our office in Port Washington, in New York, is the original Miracle-Gro office. The office I sit in was my dad's office.
So
back
you
in the
guys
day.
are a family-run business. It's just that you guys have been a lot more successful at running your business, getting market penetration than a lot of other family-owned business.
Yeah, I mean, and, we're
Family
super
run because it's public company. So it's
yeah,
owned-
we're
owned
publicly
by-
traded, so we can't say that we're like we're not privately owned, we're not family owned, but my family still has we still have a stake in the business. And my old man, my dad, runs it. He's the CEO of Scouts Miracle-Gro,
Right.
and I got 2 cousins that work with me, who I think are listening right now. What up?
What
Give a shout out.
So-
now. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Christine and Jordan, what up? Vaughn, Bird, all them.
My cousins are listening to Ladybird Skeeter. Good to see you.
Yeah, my cousin's Pork and Scooter. What's up, fellas?
But for us, partnering up with a company that we felt had like a similar sort of value set that we did, family business, people who care about their employees, care about the customer. That was something that was really special to us, and it's something that we've clung to pretty closely. My family, so meeting Ross, meeting Larry was like just meeting people we felt like we shared a lot of.
Right, and that's good. It's all well and good, and meeting you, down to earth guy. Not coming in here big corporate head. You're part of a big organization, a big company, which is publicly traded. So
I lost a bet, actually, $100 that you were a 50-year-old silver-haired man in a suit with monogrammed
Sorry
cuffs.
about that.
Yeah, so if you could slide me $100, I could pay that. It'd be cool.
I got you covered.
Thanks, man.
But guys, what do we do when we want to keep all of this stuff in place, how it is, continue to grow it, and the stock shareholders aren't happy with that? How do you reconcile? What path would you take to continue of what the idea of what we're doing here, and also the integrity of the model of the hydroponic nutrient company of GH?
Well, with the when you're talking about Scotts Miracle-Gro, I mean, there's a board of directors, there's shareholders, and that's who the company serves.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're all about.
You're legally
Yeah, it's
binded
the
to do
fiduciary duty,
Right.
So we have to do it. But at Hawthorne, that's one of the great things is that for me, being a family member, having that sort of, I report up to our chief operating officer. I talk to my father about business multiple times a day, and those guys and a lot of people at Scotts are really, really dedicated to the vision that we have, that I have, along with guys like Ross and other people on both of our teams. So we have people that really believe in this mission, what we're trying to do, and sort of the philosophy that we're taking. And if there may come a situation way down the road where some hard questions are asked by the people that I report sort of up the line to,
Right.
but it hasn't happened yet. People are really happy with how things are going. And I think I hope that people who own SMG shares are excited, because this is a move looking towards the future. This is something to help the business sort of safeguard against what's coming, because
Yep.
people aren't going to be throwing down grass seed and lawn fertilizer.
Using a lot of nasty chemicals, weed killers, insect killers, whatever it is. People are going more organic, and we can't deny it. Look at
The baby boomers are getting older.
Look at the whole food movement, Whole Foods, Fresh and Easy, Sprouts, all these supermarkets that are catering to the people because of that lifestyle. Now, as people are starting to grow their own consumables, or more prevalently growing them, but are in a high density area, you want to be able to give them what they want as a consumer, right? And I was talking to this with a caller earlier, is that if you wanted something to go away that you don't agree with, that is distributed or sold by any company, it's your duty not to buy it. It's for sale on a store shelf. If you don't want it, you don't have to go get it. But if it's the best product on the market, if it does a good job, if it's in line with what you believe and what you want to use in your garden, then you should buy it. Not just because of the company that's behind it is a larger company than you're used to dealing with. Not everything that's good only comes from a farmer's market.
I was going to say, kind of going back to what Chris was saying about being a publicly traded company and have a fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders of the company. As an entrepreneur, I kind of look at our shareholders prior to being acquired or partnering with the Hawthorne as our customers.
Right.
And we're here to serve our customer. We have a fiduciary responsibility, in my opinion, to give the best products, give them at a reasonable price. We have to stay profitable in order to stay in business.
Right.
I think if you just take that kind of thought and apply it to your business all the time, you're going to service your stockholders as a publicly traded company. Mm-hmm. So, if we are servicing our end users with the right products, the right price, and really not even our end users, our plants, right?
Right.
We're going to be successful, and if we're successful, we're going to serve our stockholders.
Well, and these are hypotheticals I'm throwing out to you guys, but I believe wholeheartedly, personally, that we're in the middle of a green rush, or not in the middle, at the very beginning of a green rush, that everyone that's involved is going to be fine, including the shareholders of SMG, including the people at GH, including the people at the local hydro store. You're going to have so many new customers come in as legislation changes, as more people become more aware of what they're ingesting and want to ingest better and grow their own stuff. We're going to be in the middle of a green rush, and it's going to be all good. But, for a publicly traded company, it's not also the matter of profitability. It's a matter of the stock price of that share. Like Starbucks doesn't care if a Starbucks is profitable because the stock goes up every time they open up a new Starbucks. So their idea, they're like, okay, I'll open them up, 100 feet from each other down the street as long as that stock price keeps going up. So, there is an amount of skepticism. And with the big Wall Street recession that happened in 2006, 2007, people are wary of publicly traded company. And I understand that. So, I just want to throw this out because these are questions that I've been asked and been seeing around on the internets. Not just one net.
On the
nets.
interwebs.
Yeah, I am the decider, and I'm going to decide to talk to Emily from A Girl in a Garden. She's got some questions for you boys. Emily, what's going on?
Not much. What's going on?
Not much. Now, Emily, let's give you a
Keep
little
it clean, Emily.
a little background. You used to run sales at Serenade, which was at one point acquired by Bayer, and you saw some things change for the better, not for the better, and you have some questions for the boys. So go ahead and take it.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to ask this question. What is the stance on, since we're in a green movement and it's all about green, is it wink, wink, nudge, nudge, or are you guys going after the cannabis growers?
So, that...
Oh.
Okay.
Like, are you guys talking about it, or is it kind of...
Well,
talk about it.
growing cannabis is still federally illegal, so it's all fruits, flowers, and tomatoes as far as we're concerned. But
Yeah, purple tomatoes.
All right, let me rephrase it. Are we going to be seeing companies like this at High Times Cups?
Hey, this is Chris. Probably not. It's as we've been talking about at length. Hawthorne Gardening Company is we operate independently. We are a subsidiary of Scott's Miracle-Gro. They're a publicly traded company,
right.
So they have things that they can't do, say, comment, whatever. So I gotta respect sort of the rules that I play by.
So the acquisition of it is not directed towards that industry, even though people can use Miracle-Gro, they can use GH, they can use Canon nutrients from Holland, they can use whatever they want on any plants that they grow. So aside from that, I don't think that's going to be happening, just like Chris said, Emily. But you have been a center point of in an acquisition by a big company and stuff. Well, what are some of the concerns and stuff that you may have for the employees that are working for GH that you saw as an employee for a company that was acquired?
Well, I think my experience is different because the company I worked for was acquired for the technology and not for the employees. And my question is, I hear that everything's staying the same. Are you guys there for the employees too? Because that's a huge part of running a business, is the family.
No, absolutely. This is Chris again, and I'm going to hand this off to Ross in a second. But the answer's yes. And like I said, the employees are family, and that was one of the things that was really attractive about GH and Vermicrops. Not only are they family businesses, but the people that work there are act like family to each other, and that was really important to us. But aside from that, it's Ross's team. So I'd say, Ross, what's the plan?
The plan is, like I said earlier, stay the heading. But one of the wonderful things we found, Larry and I, with Jim and Chris early on in the discussions as they began for the acquisition or the partnership was, Larry and I both said, we're not interested in being acquired to kind of absorb us. We're interested in growing these businesses. We're interested in growing our family, our teams. And if that's not part of what your vision is for us, then we're not interested in continuing the conversation. And, I think we gained a little respect from them on that, and we made that clear up front, and then they were on board right away. I mean, through the process of due diligence and all the other stuff that went along with the partnership, I became friends with Chris. Larry became friends with Jim. I became friends with Jim. These guys are a family. It was really, really refreshing to see, because we had a perception of SMG as well, and it was so far outside of our perception. These guys are real people with real history, with real family ethics. So the idea that we're gonna merge products or merge people or take away departments, not even. We're not getting rid of one position in either company. In fact, we have open positions.
Are you sure you still want Will?
Well,
Little does Will know. There's a clause in there.
Dun, dun, dun.
he didn't take a shot with me, so it's questionable at this point.
Yeah, I got one of those fatty livers, but I'm banking on the SMG insurance fixing that shit.
Foie gras. We're having Will foie gras for dinner.
I was a little disappointed in Devin. His hyphy has turned down a lot since he moved down to SoCal.
I'd love to hear real quick though from either Will or Matt or both. How you guys feeling right now?
Yeah, Emily, this is Matt.
Some type of way.
I've got to tell you, originally we all had some concerns. We didn't know how this was going to affect us. We saw some new people around here and there, and then we got to actually meet them and have time with them. And
you got those stock shares, and you're like, yes.
I won't
that
speak to that.
bonus check.
I'm
Hey,
saying
by the way, Heavy T will be paid in stock shares from now on.
it's all Azamax 1 ounces, buddy. All Azamax 1 ounces.
I'm going to bunghole those across the border.
That's
Okay,
it.
I do have another question because not everyone has the best impression of Scott
Okay.
and Miracle-Gro. And I will say my personal thing is this must have been a family member of yours. It was the CEO of Scott's at the time, did a keynote speech at the IGC show. I think it was in 2011, one of the first years. And it was a show celebrating and promoting independent garden centers. And I got to sit through a keynote speaker with Scott's CEO. All he talked about was how much profit margin he made selling to big box stores. And I watched retailers walk out of that and say they would never buy that product again. How are you going to overcome and let people know that Scott's is separate than this Hawthorne Gardening Group?
Yeah, there is certain things that image over doing business since 1951. Things have popped up, and you may not have people may not have the best image of Scott's in certain areas. How are you going to deal with that?
Well, we're dealing with it now, and I think Emily, like I said earlier in the show, actions speak a lot louder than words. I can sit here and say, look, we're going to protect the retailers that GH, that Vermicrop's been working with this whole time, that the whole industry is.
Right.
I mean, guys like you. Until we actually do it, talk is awfully cheap.
Well, there's an action here already, Chris. You guys flew down here to our little studio here to take the time and address the listeners' concerns. And I could tell you, in my opinion, Emily, listeners, people have speculated that Scott's is just going to dismantle the company, GH is gone forever, that they're going to cut out certain things in the line, make it more profitable, this or that, find the loss leaders or the loss, the products that have a loss, get rid of them. The fact that they come all the way down here to actually come on this little show and tell you that is not what's going to happen is an action that speaks monuments to what you're talking about. And time will tell over the time of what you're saying if it actually comes to fruition. But right now, I'm really pleased, and it shows a great deal of integrity in my eyes that you came down to do the show tonight, guys.
I appreciate it.
And I have one question while Emily's on the phone, too, since she knows about all these things that I've been defending GH this whole last 2 weeks. Obviously, they're not going to go on.
He's the most hated man in hydro already.
But
there's nothing he could do to piss people off more.
I've used GH from the day I started growing hydroponically indoors in the late 90s, and I've used other products. I've switched to things people told me were better. But when it came down to it, nothing was as consistent as the GH product line. And so I have mixed so many reservoirs of GH3 part that I literally don't even need measuring devices anymore. I can just look at the meter
Vinny.
as I add stuff, and it'll be great. So my final question to you on that is, just to dispel the myths that I have continually seen people bring
What the
up.
fuck are you doing, Duff? Just because you're not on the air.
The Hawthorne Group guy, the CEO guy's coming in.
He's here, dude.
Dude, are you
Where is
interrupting
he?
my question?
Yeah, he's got a
That guy
question.
over there, I just skated with that guy earlier today over at the Cerrito Skate Park.
Oh, shit.
over there?
Get out of here, Mr.
Yeah,
Big Guy.
please.
Yeah, we did. Nice
We're trying to
kickflip
do a
earlier.
we're trying to do a
That
serious
was awesome. Nice kickflip
show
grind.
here.
But let me get this a little cleaner.
Turn it off. Turn
It's
it off.
real.
Hey, security.
Turn it off. Hey, hold on real quick, though. Don't you have a product pitch for Chris and the Hawthorne Group? Hit it.
Yeah, I do. Hey, Dr. Duffman here. Hey, I know mixing nutrients is really hard. And, sometimes you do it a little buzzed. And sometimes you don't remember if that was the double A or the double B you put in there. So don't forget to get the Forgive from Dr. Duff. I'm going to sell it to Hawthorne over here, Chris here. It's going to be called I don't know what after I sell it to him. But the Forgive wipes out what you put in that nutrient little vial, whatever.
What are you looking for in price?
I'm going to talk about what it does first.
Okay.
It saves water because it wipes out whatever you just did. The mistakes are wiped out. It's called Forgive for a reason. And you save water because we're in a drought. And you know what? Heel Hauser would thank me right now
That's
if he was
amazing.
alive.
That's California
and
gold.
in honor of Heel Hauser in California, the Forgive will be down at a very low price for the Hawthorne Group if they want to buy.
Sounds awesome, man.
Maybe about $10.
Are you
Got
into
a deal.
All right.
So, Chris,
We do business.
how long have you and your family been members of the Illuminati?
The Illuminati, dude, since the beginning.
Yeah, they started that shit. No, but to get back to what I was
And why
asking,
did you take out the Fukushima power plant?
for all, why did you take down the Trade Center towers? That's ridiculous. No, my
That's
question.
too soon,
My
too soon,
question. Oh, is it still too soon? Okay. No, my question, and all these people are saying this repeatedly on the internet, and I can't find anything on Wikipedia or anywhere else where everyone gets their news at. But is Scott's Miracle-Gro actually owned by Monsanto?
No.
Wait. Can you say that again?
Absolutely not. What I'll say to people is, use your Google. Like, Scott's
up.
Miracle-Gro traded company. Publicly. Monsanto, publicly traded company. Like, there are no secrets out there about
Right.
who owns who. Please do your work. Figure it out before you go spewing, like, nasty stuff. SMG has a licensing and partnership agreement for one product. Roundup is the product.
Right,
No sense
right.
in bouncing around that.
Yeah, we all know what that is.
Yeah, and
And it's for the retail level for
it's for consumers,
Right.
which accounts, and this is also Googleable. It accounts for 3% of Roundup's total sales. The
Right.
rest are direct by Monsanto to Big Ag, which we don't have any business. We SMG have no business
So
in.
for the listeners, the shop owners, it's like Sunlight Supply distributing GH and selling to stores that want to buy it, and for us to say GH and Sunlight Supply are one and the same. It's completely separate.
Budweiser
Well put.
Budweiser doesn't own NASCAR because they're official beer sponsor of NASCAR.
Yeah, but
They just have a partnership.
So that's settled, okay? Emily, you still there?
Yes.
See, Emily, so you heard it too. They do not own Scott's Miracle-Gro.
Or are owned by?
That's
I
right.
know this.
Well,
and
I know
keep
you know this,
posting
but all these other
information.
fucktards out here don't know. And I'm getting tired of
I
answering their
didn't
shit. It's
know
taking away
that.
from my quality time with my dog.
Put it this way, Horty and I have looked like the biggest assholes last week.
Well, that's
by
because
trying
I
to
am.
Tell people I'm not. You might be.
Thank
By
you,
trying
Emily.
to tell people that they are not owned
Debatable.
by Monsanto. It's a marketing agreement. And if you actually work in Big Ag, which I have worked in large-scale egg, whatever, I have an accent. Anyway,
You have an accent. You're from Southern California.
I'm not. I'm from up by Canada.
Oh, that's why you're so stupid. Oh,
It's
just-
pennies on the dollar. And as someone was saying, what Roundup is sold in large-scale commercial is absolutely huge amounts of dollar-wise than what's sold to the end user.
Yeah, and there's a
Exactly,
difference.
dwarfs
If someone goes into a store and buys it and knowingly uses it, then that's on the consumer. If a company hold
though.
on, excuse me, I'm talking. Did I
Usually-
take a breath and give you the impression I was done talking? Anyways, Emily, you're
Happy
done.
birthday to me. Thanks for the bottle, GH.
If you're patenting live GMO seeds and blanket spraying it with herbicide, insecticides, and not letting the consumer be informed by fighting against labeling and all that stuff, that is some evil shit. If you're buying the shit off the shelf that is a herbicide or pesticide and spraying it on your own garden, that's on you.
Or spraying it on your driveway. It's a little bit different than spraying it on wheat crops to kill them so that the combine can harvest them in one process while they're dry instead of actually cutting it down and letting it dry.
Farmers that have their wheat pollinated by their hybrid patented seeds. This is a whole nother show, and we're getting off point.
Right.
But for the record now, one more time, Chris, Scott's is not part or has any ownership ties to Monsanto.
Zero ownership ties.
There you have it, buddy. There you have it. Hey, Chef John has been holding for quite a while from Texas.
Tejas?
Yeah, he has some questions. Chef John.
Hey guys, good talk, man. Hey, thanks for congratulations first of all on the acquisition.
Thank you.
Good job on y'all, man. As an end user, I started growing vegetables to get away from big ag, and came across the general organics line and really was pleased with it. It was growing great stuff, so I started using that to grow and sell to some local restaurants and some friends. With this acquisition comes a few questions, but I think y'all have done a great job in clarifying some of my initial questions.
Transparency is key in this instance.
I'm sorry?
I said transparency is very key in this instance.
Man, I agree, and it's so great to hear you say that. Thank you. I just wanted to call in and find out and listen and see what's going on, man, but I'm very pleased with what I'm hearing, and, I hope to continue to grow with y'all. If you need any help in Texas, let me know. I'd love to partner up. I don't know that I could do anything. I'm just a small guy with a small farm in my backyard, but man, I love your products, and keep them clean, and I'll keep using them.
We appreciate you, man, very much.
All right, Chef. Where do you shop at in Texas?
Texas Hydroponics.
Texas
Let's
Hydro.
send him some Geo.
Let's send him a Geo box and some smart pots.
Say hi to Texas
yeah.
Tom from Ross.
There you go. The Geo box has everything you need: BioGrow, BioBloom, BioBud, the BioWeed. Wink, wink.
Black gold.
The black gold. Yeah, baby. That's what Kylie Breeze has with Dr. Dove's wife.
Hey, man, that Newcastle looks delicious.
Oh, snap. He's like salivating at us. Okay, we're back. Hey, here's a technical question about 3-part for you.
There you go.
Brandon from Cali has a question about 3-part. Go ahead, Brandon.
Yes, sir. I was wondering, you guys were talking about being acquisition, the 3-part.
Yeah, well, we're talking right now.
All their products are in the acquisition. That would include the 3-part.
They just bought the pH up and down.
I was wondering if
They bought a 55-gallon of each.
Is it going to be cheaper?
No. The ticker. It's publicly sold something.
Yes.
Oh, you want to know what the ticker for Hawthorne Group is?
Yes, sir.
See, we're good at digging it out of them over here.
That was good translation.
We speak stoner.
So Hawthorne Gardening Company is a subsidiary of Scott. So we don't have our own ticker symbol. We're not a public company. If you're looking for the Scott's Miracle-Gro ticker, it's SMG.
SMG.
If you type in like SMG quote into Google, that'll take you to
looking
like
to buy some stock.
Yeah.
Dude, buy some up, man. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Is that like High Point right now? He's like, buy it all.
Buy it all. Buy it all. We're getting ready to dump a bunch.
I think it's a good buy. Oh, there you
I
got
would
it.
agree.
So, Brandon, are you a GH user? Have you been?
Yeah, I like the 3-part, and I hope it remains the same.
It will, man. We're dedicated to keeping the products the same, the people the same, and our factories the same.
Yeah, there's no reason to fix something that's not broken. So all these people who think that they're just going to miraculously start reformulating something with 38 years of success
Absolutely
is just
not.
ridiculous. Or ridiculous, as I would say.
Well, and Chris, this is Matt. I don't want to speak for Hawthorne, but earlier when it was asked, were they coming just for the people, coming for the technology? They love our technology. As Horty just said, we have the products that work, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the 3-part has really built our company over the years, and we would be crazy to change that in any way. Every day I come to work to the same place. There's the same people in there. We're making the same great products the same great way. Business as usual, and I'm really happy with that because I use the products as well. So things are looking good as they always have.
Well,
Great. I feel better now.
what do we say to the end users and the retailers that are lashing out? And some of them, I see that they say blowout sale, General Hydro. I saw one on
Good for the end users. They're going to get a better price out of the store.
Right. The neighbor's store is going to come through pretty well.
And then they'll end up going to the other store around the corner because the other one won't have GH anymore. It's pretty simple.
You know what is so ironic to me is that
Just
store owners
and
and
users
users
person.
will support companies that have owners that are alleged child molesters, with owners that are allegedly
Murderers, drug traffickers,
tried to murder their ex-wife. There's a lot of things that people don't have a qualm with, except when a large company comes into the fray, they get all frantic about it and worked up that Chicken Little, the sky is falling, which to me, this legitimizes everything that we've worked for Larry the last 38 years, for me, the last 10 years, 12 years of being in the industry. So I'm stoked to have this. I'm stoked to hear what you guys are saying. Time will tell, like we've said over and over again, and we'll see. We might end up having a show where we all call you liars at some point.
Don't count on it.
I won't be
bring
here
a bigger bottle.
Right.
Yes. Hey, you know what? We do got to pay some of the bills. We've had several questions lined up. One phone line's open. Wait, no, it's not open anymore. Call in, though. Have your dialer ready, 562-653-0707. We need a beer refill and a safety meeting.
Yes.
And we'll be right back here on Heavy T's Grow Show, DFCRadio.com.
GH.
Cool, guys.
Microphone
What
check
is? The Free Army. We're here with Chris from the Hawthorne Group, Ross from GH, Matt from GH, and Will from Vermi Crop. Growing that Vermi fire with that Vermi crop. Oh, wait, no. Growing with Vermi fire.
There you go. Growing the fire with the vermifire. My
There
friend.
you go.
Hot fire.
It's on fire. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the show you want to be tuning into right now. Call a friend, take a picture, write it down. I don't give a fuck. 562-653-0707. Now, we've had some industry insiders calling all night. We had, Michael Fusion James. We had Eric from Garden Culture Magazine. Emily
Eric?
from A Girl in a Garden and Nanolux. And now we have an opportunity to talk with Mr. Jeff Edwards, the president or former president of the PGTA. And also
And
a laundry list of other companies he's worked with, including HDI, Rock Nutrients, some consulting.
Superior Grower Supply in Michigan.
Respected legend of the industry.
Yes, he is. Jeff.
Hey,
And
Jeff, Mr. Edwards, what's up, buddy?
greetings.
let's not forget, graduate of Los Alamitos High School, one of my alma maters. I didn't graduate there, but I went there for a little bit. Then they kicked me out.
Los Alamitos, yes.
Go
Now, I
Griffins.
didn't graduate from there, but I went there for a couple of years.
Does anyone?
So you were basically there for 9th grade?
It's a good school. It's a good school.
Ninth and or 10th
Sorry,
and
that was
11th,
too easy.
Navy brat. What can I say?
Right on, brother. So,
Right.
we're having this conversation, this dialogue tonight. I know that you are a moderator in a group called the Hydro Tank, which this has been a very, very hotly debated topic. Let's hear your representation of that group, and the time is yours. So you're on with Chris and Ross. Go ahead.
Listen up.
Well, I just want to thank. I think what you said earlier about transparency, it goes a long way, Chris. That you and the crew, Ross, Matt, Will, y'all came down to talk about this with the industry. I think that says a lot about character, and that's one of the things that Heavy T alludes to in the industry is we try to self-monitor the people who participate and make sure that they have at least a little bit of character. My initial question goes to what kind of influence is Hawthorne going to have on SMG? I want to give a shout out to the fact that a lot of people don't realize this, but Miracle-Gro used to be known as Stern's Miracle-Gro, and if it wasn't for Stern, Mr. Stern, and the original Stern's Miracle-Gro, Larry and General Hydroponics might not be even in business.
In fact, he pioneered home fertilization. Otto Stern.
Consumer fertilization.
That's a cool name, Otto.
What kind of
Cheers.
influence is Hawthorne going to have? Are we going to see more advertising of hydroponics to mainstream gardeners,
as a result of this pairing. I think that's a lot of people's concerns is how exactly are we going to see a more of a mainstream push, which would in turn increase the business of many of these stores.
No, it's a great question. I think I can't speak to what SMG sort of as a bigger business is going to do as far as sort of investing in advertising, but this is a really important thing for us. When we founded Hawthorne, it was with an eye towards sort of developing a business culture and a way of doing business that hopefully we could apply towards the bigger company as time went on. And I think the focus that Hawthorne and this deal and this category as a whole is getting by the leadership back in Ohio, I think really speaks to how excited they are. And a bunch of leadership from SMG was out here a couple days ago, just meeting the people out here, seeing all the facilities, and trying to really get a hand on why Hawthorne is so excited about this. And they came away, super excited. So
sorry for butting in, but SMG is a Midwest company, right? They're based in Ohio.
Yep.
Your family's from the East Coast, and out here on the West Coast, it tends to be a little bit more liberal when it comes, a little bit more progressive in terms of thinking and gardening. A lot of the biggest hydro companies are based on the West Coast. Was it a hard sell, or to the SMG group for you guys to say, look, we need to look at this share? Because I saw your father put out a thing saying, look, we're looking at more niche markets because the big box stores have kind of leveled out. They're not opening as many new locations anymore. We gotta continue to take care of customers in different areas, and we need to look at smaller marketed companies rather than just these huge $100 million. Well, you are $100 million, but you understand what I'm saying. Was it a tough sell to those guys?
Well,
potentially being a more conservative.
No, we, as a, like I said, privately, publicly traded company, we're going to have, things that we have to do and ways that we sort of have to be. But, and I think like any deal, you're going to have some people that feel good about it, and you'll have other people that question it. I think any business transaction, when you beat it around and when it says as big of a decision.
Well, then let me be a little bit more pointed. Your father. Did you have to convince him, or was he on the same page you are?
He is 100% on the same page, and he's been talking about getting into the hydroponics business for quite some time, and that's a characteristic about him that's been pretty well documented. So this, he's been pushing this as hard as any of us have within the company, and he's a great advocate for what we're trying to do at Hawthorne and with GH.
Nice. And a brilliant man, by the way.
Nice.
So obviously.
Sorry for taking a little bit of your thunder there, Jeff, but go ahead, continue, brother.
No, not at all. No, not at all. So, Chris, one of one of the big concerns amongst the store owners, and I think you guys have already touched on it, is that, if I want to twist it a little bit, is that the independent store owners are fearful that they're going to see General Hydro products in all the Home Depots and Lowe's and Walmarts within a couple of months. Personally, I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm on the other side of the coin. I believe in the rising tide raises all boats, and that I'd really like to see those products in Lowe's and Home Depot because I think it would generate more interest among the mainstream public. My problem is when I walk down the aisle, the gardening aisle, quote unquote, in Lowe's or Home Depot today, it seems to be dominated like 80% by Scott's and or Miracle-Gro. In fact, I couldn't even find a bag of potting soil that didn't have Miracle-Gro on it in Lowe's the other day. So I'm a little, and a lot of my peers are a little skeptical.
That's like that post I made.
To diversification here.
I think Ross, I'll speak to that for a moment. Is
sure.
I start with, I had a store in 2002, so I'm rooted in this industry. This is my home. There's a lot of my friends and family all exist in this industry. So I don't think that if we put GH SKUs, current SKUs, in or Home Depot or Lowe's now, that we wouldn't just be stealing customers from our current retailers. I wouldn't say that our brands won't end up there in some format, but it wouldn't be wise of us to just take customers and move them from one segment or one channel to another. It doesn't.
I don't think you could do it. From a logistical point of view, because you wouldn't be able to take up as much shelf space.
I'll second that and say that the other side is, from a business point of view, I don't think if we put all our products on a shelf of Home Depot or Lowe's that we would turn them fast enough for them to even keep them on the shelf. Number one. Number two.
Nor would I want you to see that. Would I want to see that? But it would be nice to see a representation of products.
I agree with you there.
And general products, again, to pique interest in this whole new concept of hydroponics, which segues nicely into my next question. Chris, 5 years ago, I couldn't buy a picture of somebody growing food in their backyard. Today, I have people sending me weekly multiple pictures of their backyard hobby vegetable garden. Will Hawthorne commit to expanding this market on the food side of things, as well as the obvious cannabis side of things, which may, in fact, still be nudge, nudge, wink, wink?
The answer is absolutely. Feeding people, it's harder and harder for people here in the States, Europe, and especially, I think, if you look sort of globally in places like India, China, for people to get food that they can trust. And the food they can trust is really expensive, and I think it's a big problem that I don't think is seen by a lot of people here in the States. So pursuing a sort of a feed yourself movement is really important to us, and that's a big part of a lot of the things we've been doing between brands like Eco Scraps, AeroGarden, and certainly GH. So pushing the sort of grow your own food movement, absolutely priority. It's the thing that sort of gets me up in the morning, as corny as that sounds. So.
Are you a gardener yourself, Chris?
That's
Absolutely.
my girlfriend's hand, but I feel you.
Yeah. Have you tried hydroponic gardening, or are you a traditional soil gardener?
Mostly traditional soil, raised bed garden, growing tomatoes, basil, that kind of thing.
I bet you can get a good deal on 3-part if you want to try hydro now.
I have to say, I've been to his house and they have a
knows a
lot of plants. They're growing a lot. He's a gardener, 100%.
All right. That's awesome, dude. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. I'm hopeful that the good people of General Hydroponics, the good family, will be able to exert a positive influence upon the Hawthorne Group and SMG by extension. I guess my last question is, after appearing on the show, Chris, does the Heavy Tea Show, can they still count on General Hydroponics sponsorship?
Of course, yeah.
What? Well, he's saying
Did you
that.
pay him?
No, but
It's Ross's budget, but yeah.
Dude, Ross, I just get paid to work here. It's his show, not mine. You never
T,
listen.
did you set that up?
It's the Heavy Tea
You
Grow
set
Show,
that up,
not the
didn't
Horty
you?
Chris Show.
Yes, can we sign a 5-year contract at
Yes,
10?
right now. It's like $10,000 a month each. I will wear this T-shirt every time.
Yeah, that's the only shirt you own.
True.
All right. Hey, Jeff, I really appreciate you calling in, representing the Hydro Tank, representing growers across the country.
Representing hydroponics. Thank you, Jeff.
Do you have anything that you want to promote tonight? Any plug that you have?
Well, I'm working with Judge Stone over at the Harvest Solutions. We've got a new product out called Quick Snip. It's a trimmer lubricant, and it'll speed your trimming activities up significantly. So go on over to harvestsolutions.us and read all about it. Thanks a lot, guys.
You might want to try Astroglide for your scissors. I'm just saying.
It is like
Thanks,
Astroglide
Jeff.
for your scissors. It works pretty good, too. I just tried some.
Dermalube.
Hey, Jeff, when you get that launched, make sure you call back, and we're going to get you some airtime and stuff so you can tell us all about that product.
Sweet. We'll do that.
All right, Jeff. Thanks for
again,
calling,
guys.
brother.
Have a great evening.
Thanks,
safe.
Jeff. Be safe, man.
You know, guys, we're addressing a lot of the concerns and things that are going on here. The candidacy is remarkable. I really just want to tell you guys thank you for coming in and doing this, and I know the listeners appreciate it. We still have plenty of calls here. Here's someone, Brad from Massachusetts, is worried about the money he's spending now on GH, maybe going towards other things. Let's see what he has to ask. Go ahead, Brad.
Hey, what's up, guys? I didn't really explain my question too well, I guess, to your screener.
No, really, our screener's just really not really qualified to be a screener, so he'll spell your name wrong. You're from the wrong state. The question is the other guy who called on line 6. It's no big deal.
Yeah, he doesn't have a GED. He has a GDE.
Hey, you killed it last week with all the Facebook fucktards. You definitely put everybody in their place. I work at that HTG in Shrewsbury, so I'm just kind of trying to talk about the sentiment from the customers that are coming in and kind of what we're doing, listening to all this, like, total nonsense that, like, we're hearing coming in, like, you know, just like Horty Chris talked about. Anyways, so basically what it is there's a couple of different people talking about it. But for the most part, 80% of the customers are not worried about Scott's coming in or GH kind of changing a ton of stuff. You know what I mean? The people that are worried about it don't really buy GH anyways. So they're not losing really any customers in my book, or as far as I can see, as far as our immediate experience in that, you know, in the last couple of weeks. But if anything, man, these products, I've seen a lot of price changes, a lot of different companies. GH is definitely not one of those companies that's notorious for adding tons of new products or changing their prices drastically or wildly. So I think that if anything, you know, if they want to add new products, it's going to make it easier for them, and it's going to make it better for the consumer in the long run, because they're going to have generally cheaper products. Because if they need $100,000 to start a new line or to get that, you know, thing running, that's going to happen for them.
They have the cash flow.
They have the capital to do that,
That's
exactly.
Right.
And so these people should be like, oh, well, maybe we should expect more amazing things from this company, not a bunch of watered-down crap, which, like we talked about, behooves no one. Behooves absolutely no one for them to change anything. Now, there is a few people that we've heard about, and we've talked about shops that are fuck GH, we're taking all the shit off the shelves, rah, witch, hunt, burn everything. Why? It makes absolutely no sense.
They got a free case of Big Bud from Big Mike.
They're so misinformed and uninformed. They think Monsanto's coming in. They're going to raid their hydro shop. The whole thing. It's
they're putting their beliefs in front of their customers' wants and needs. So as a business owner, I mean, I have beliefs and I'm pretty opinionated, but if the customer wants something, I'm going to sell it to them, whatever they want. And the way you 100%. Want it is the way I'm going to make it, because that's the feedback you get from the end user. So if I were to go to a store that told me, oh yeah, we don't sell GH here anymore, I would just be like, okay, well then you just basically told me to fuck off too. And what did I do to you? Exactly, and what did they do to you? But your opinion makes you want to force me into some other stuff that I'm not comfortable
There's
using.
a lot of misinformation, and that's the information age that we live in. There's correct information.
Exactly. Go find those shops, buy your gallons of Floralicious Plus from them, I guess, for now, until that's gone, you know, but...
That's that bullshit!
They got me
and then you'll never shop there again. Like you said, you'll never see that guy again. You don't have to worry about that. Whatever. You never have to make that money ever again. That's fine. Exactly. You know. But for the most part, man, we definitely point people towards GH because it's simple, it works, it's cost effective, and we use that with a mix of other products. You know, Roots Organic has some cool products, and I've worked at a couple different shops, and you know, we like what works for people that are going to ask us the least fucking questions, man. You know, and GH
just send them the heavy tea. I'll take all their duff questions.
We appreciate you, man.
Dude, yeah, we're stoked you like the product, man.
Hey, Brad, give a plug to your hydro store.
Sweet, man. I work at HTG, Shrewsbury, Mass, guys.
We appreciate you guys a lot.
Anytime.
Hey, what do you think, man, that we floss them out with some banners, posters, GH stuff, and just send them a little care package?
Hey, you know what? Our boy Michael Bateman already has them locked down, but let's do it up twice as much.
All right, we're gonna send you a bunch of goodies from GH for both the store and your customers.
That's what's up, guys.
And some Heavy Tea Grow Show T-shirts. Grow bigger, grow home.
Sick, dude. We're a couple big dice here. We need a couple X's. 2 X's if you got them.
Yeah,
hey, that's no problem. You'll be wearing a GH muumuu by the night's through.
Yeah. Hey, we for the new T-shirts, heavy tea printed SpongeBob size shirts this time. So we got you covered.
Yeah, because
you can wear it or use it as a mattress cover.
Yeah, I'm known as Sponge Beard No Pants
I'm
now.
gonna put it over my pillows at night and just cry on it. That's fine.
All right. Hey, Brad, thanks for calling in.
I like Brad. He was smart about things. You know, it's about innovation. So having the resources to continue to innovate. We talk about Larry Brook. Larry Brook is an innovator. He is science, quality, and science. You know, we don't release a lot of products because Larry doesn't let us release anything until he knows and we know it's right. And Larry's going to be a big. That's where his involvement's going to continue. Is in that category.
Did Larry study agronomy at university, or is his background something else? Because
he's a graduate of Berkeley, but he's a student of the plant.
Yeah, he's a physicist by trade.
That's what people say. They're like, "Hey, T, how'd you get in this industry? Did you go to school for it?" I go, "No, I paid for school with this."
Right.
By growing tomatoes. Very sticky, icky tomatoes. Okay. Oh, shit. Dude, how much time do we have left in the show? Because here's the deal.
Oh, no. Well, we have at least 10 minutes till an official break, so he could probably talk for at least 10% of the time he wants to.
All right, so
they got Mitch.
Here it comes. Super organic Mitch. Do we got Mitch on line?
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Mitch, you're online. Hey, you only have 10 minutes, bro.
Our favorite Hebrew brother, Mitch.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, this has got to be a record for listeners for the Heavy Tea Show. I bet you're going to have 15,000, 18,000 live.
What are you talking about, bro? We got triple that, right, guys?
Right. And so don't be putting out your promo code on the website right now. Just trying to get some extra sales.
Now, hey, at the end of the day, this is the greatest thing for all of us, and I'm just super excited and very proud of Ross and all those guys. And I just want to say that there's no way they're going to go ahead and stick this shit into. Can you imagine going to Walmart or Home Depot and trying to have someone show you how to set your meter?
Or how to mix. They'll be doing the Lucas formula.
Okay, hold on. Don't even buy the green part. Honest to God, hand to God, Mitch. Hold on. God damn it, Mitch. Hand to God. You're on hold, Mitch. Don't hang up.
Sponsor of the show, by the way.
Hand to God. There are customers that cannot set a fucking digital timer that come in and be like, "T, can you set this for me?" Yeah. So you want this on today and then off at the other? Okay, here you go.
I've seen the people at Walmart video. I feel you.
He's still talking. He didn't stop. Sorry, Mitch. You got cut off, Lou. You're breaking up. A little technical difficulty.
Well, I'm actually in the G, jetting up the 101 for Green Week in Humboldt. You know, my GMC with the Mission girls wearing their collars, Sarah and Nikki.
Oh man,
GA stickers on the bumper.
Dude, I want a GA shirt, and I wear a medium now, so I'll be freaking sporting it, dude.
I will send you one, Mitch.
You know, at the end of the day, having horsepower is what it's all about, and the fact that I've told many people if I could be anybody in the hydroponics industry, it would be Ross. Now it's fucking...
Yeah, because his wife's cute. We know.
It's because of my haircut.
And you're always on Tinder.
Yeah. Mitch,
no, dude,
Mitch, now that all your hair plugs are in, man, you look way younger.
Now, listen, for the big box stores, I actually think a product like Mission would be a lot better.
See, there it goes.
No pH, no EC. You know, the homeowner could just dump their hose water in there, and just something to think about.
It'll look
I
great
can
next
do
to the
about
Christmas
one
lights
Home
during
Depot
December.
in Modesto with my production, so don't get your hopes
He could
up.
turn around right now and meet you at his facility.
Right.
Mitch,
Yeah.
you've got your thumb on the pulse of this industry. You're on both sides. You're in the shop. You're on the distribution, the manufacturing side. You know, you said that you think it's good. Why do you think this is good for the hydro industry?
Listen, the vetting
Here's the deal.
and the understanding that a public company like Scott's, I mean, let me tell you what, when Chris brought this to the table, I bet you a lot of people looked at him really funny.
Is that true, Chris?
And
That's true.
I think that the fact that at the end of the day they bought GH just proves that we're all correct, and this is the greatest thing in the world. And I'm excited that there's people like Ross and Will. And listen, if I could be Vermicrop, I would be Vermicrop, but I'm not.
Thanks,
So,
Mitch. We
you know
appreciate
what?
that, man.
Well, hey, you know I mean it too, dude. You guys are first class, and you make me a better company too. So, and you know, people could say what they want. You're not Monsanto, and to me, it's like Sloan Kettering getting a vegan chef and letting acupuncture be paid for by the hospital. You know, you're going to change the culture of the company. One of the Mission girls.
I agree, Mitch.
At me.
Yes. Tell them bitches to shut up.
Let's say, how many Mission girls you got, Mitch? Is there like a horde of Mission girls? We talking 10, 20?
Yeah,
What are we
what
talking?
car you driving? Let's see.
He's got two, but there's 16 nipples between them.
Is that missionary?
Yeah. Well, actually, I think 24. Sarah's got some freak stuff going on where she's like...
she got some double nips.
Yeah, she's got some triples.
Yeah. How much peanut butter has Sarah eaten in the last year?
I'm telling you, though, Nikki's turned out to be pretty freaking cool, so I'm happy. Hey, Sarah, you stay right here. We're pulled off of the, I just had to land on the side of the 101 here to let the girls out for a little stretch. So
good.
No, but I'm just, like I said, it's a great show. I really appreciate you guys coming down because there are a lot of people that tune in to the Heavy Tea, and I really think it's important that people understand that this is like, we all get to be professional, and it's great. Like I said, it's exciting to feel like we all graduated now, and we can all not be so weirded out by how people talk to us sometimes, because we do help feed people.
We do.
And that's what this is all about. So
Thank you, Mitch.
Hey, Mitch, thank you, man.
That's awesome.
All
Check
right,
out
Mitch.
missionfertilizer.com, sanctuarysoils.com. Mitch, a great guy making great products up there in the Central Valley. GH, here's the deal. Buy some GH.
Here's the deal. Okay, hold on, guys. I have to go and chase my dog.
Okay, right. We're not
Get him.
24 nipples.
What
24
does
nipples.
that mean?
We're not holding one fucking second for Mitch.
Right.
We'll be here all day. Hey, check it out. Another dude from the industry. We've got Eric. Eric, Forever Flowering Greenhouses, right? Is this Eric?
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on, Eric?
What's up, Eric?
Eric, you have helped innovate the light depth industry, especially in NorCal. It's going big in Colorado, going wherever they got full sun and a lot of land to start growing on. Greenhouses are going up all the time with that light depth, so you can manage the photo period and get more harvest more harvest per year, basically. So, Forever Flowering is the business. You have sold a lot of GH. You have told a lot of people to use GH. You're right there in the neck of the woods, right next to these guys. You're all
Vermicrop mostly, I'm actually in town at the baseball game with the kids right now, so I'm walking away from the baseball diamond, but I've been listening to this since 6 o'clock, and I love the DFC app. Man, that works out great. But yeah, I'm here in the heart of Vermicrop land.
right on. So, what's your question or comments for the guys?
Well, I just wanted to say, this is all interesting, and this industry does love controversy, and so I just wanted to call and get some airtime because I know you guys are, blasting out live to lots of people right now. But mainly, I was curious, can the Hawthorne group tell us who's next? I mean, it ain't going to just stop with GH and Vermicrop. I'm sure this is only the beginning. So, I mean, if things have been in works for a while, there's got to be somebody that's about to. And Mitch, he sounds like he's gearing up.
Politicking, ain't he?
Well, actually, outside the studio, Chris was talking about Grow Tech Greenhouse. No, just kidding. No, I'm just fucking with you. So, yeah, that's a legitimate question, Chris. Is this a one-stop at GH, or is this going to be the business plan of Hawthorne is bring in more of these specialized vendors and companies into the umbrella of the Hawthorne Group? I know you can't tell us exactly who's next. What's the plan as of the Hawthorne Group for additional additions?
All right.
Does that make sense? Kind of.
Yeah, no, I think I understand what you're asking.
Yeah, it's English.
Yeah.
I speak it
more
sometimes.
or less. Well, Hawthorne is
speak
about
Vietnamese.
is about more than just hydro. So we've got categories. I mentioned indoor, urban, natural, organic. We're running stuff down in those spaces. Stuff that people we're partnering with. Stuff that we're creating sort of organically. It's a bad word for this space, but stuff we're creating ourselves.
Right.
Brands we're creating ourselves. In the hydro space, we've got a lot of work to do just to keep on working with GH and Vermicrop to make sure that we've got everything sort of figured out as best as we can. So, who's next? I mean, we'll figure it out as soon as we get to it, I guess. But we got our hands full right now, just running these companies with the people that are working at them and have been working at them as best as we can, making sure that we're doing business the right way. And as soon as we know we've got everything sort of down pat, businesses are humming, we'll think about the next step. But right now, it's just let's work with these dudes.
I think every company in this industry now is like either getting a new accountant or actually having their accountant catch everything up and get their books squared away because, that's what the future of it is. And
you have to be if you want to do business, you have to be organized.
Right. If you want to do business with big companies, you need to have big company business ethics, which includes having all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. They're not going to buy your company
You don't
with
have
an
your
outdated bootleg version of QuickBooks that you haven't reconciled any payments in 9 years like me.
Yo, get
It's just
SAP.
never gonna happen.
You don't have your books done by your auntie.
Right.
You know, you actually have an account manager and an accountant skill.
You're not
with it.
like cash deal? Cash deal?
You know, Chris, you just mentioned that GH and the organic division are separate. Does that mean that GH and Vermicrop are going to be within certain different divisions of Hawthorne Group?
No. You know, the way that the deal took place, you know, we started talking to Larry, and when we started talking to Larry, we started talking to Ross because Ross runs the business. And when you start talking to Ross, you start talking to Vermicrop as well. And
damn right.
And and Vermicrop is, you know, is a soil business, as pretty much everyone knows, with a sort of small but growing nutrient business. GH owns
the space.
Well, owns the space, maybe a strong word, but
it owns
they
the
are,
space.
Yeah, it owns the space.
Well respected
Yeah.
and connected.
So we were interested in a well-rounded business, which GH and Vermicrop were, and considering they were both run by the same dude, it was a pretty obvious connection. So we looked at it as one deal, but really it was two deals. You know, we partnered with Vermicrop and GH, and from here on out, I think we're going to try over time. We don't want to rush it, but over time, get those businesses kind of integrated with one another, because I think that's the best way to run it, is that they know what they're doing. They can coordinate their activities even more than they already have been. And I think we can, you know, or they can, Ross, and, you know, he can speak to this. It's his show, but can really do well that way. And so it was sort of two deals in one.
And I don't want to put you guys at odds here, but when you go and purchase GH Vermicrop, was there anything that's glaring that stood out that you're going to change coming across?
Aside from Will?
Aside from Will. and his weak ass liver.
Don't be intimidated by what's below the pants, my friend.
All right.
Those are tight pants.
You know, you look at something. My wife, I love my wife, beautiful woman, great tits, you know, great ass. She's only 5'2". I'm 6'2".
Pictures.
We take photos together. Bitch is sucking on my double D titty. So it's a little tough. So, you know, I'll look at her and be like, love you, girl, but you can wear some high heels or something like that.
Or you could shrink a bra size or two.
I could, but, you know, that would jeopardize my claim as heavy T. It ain't skinny T. It's heart disease T next. So nothing glaring that that stood out that is you're looking to change in any way.
No, I mean, you know, when you look at when you look at two businesses,
Sponsorship of Heavy T's Grow Show.
You know, these guys are doing really well.
Yeah.
You know, it compared to Scott's small businesses, small businesses that are making a ton of money. And when you say, you know, can we help them out, and, you know, whether it's sort of management tactics or operational shit that we can make a little bit more efficient, and even if that means, you know, West Coast, I think East Coast, West Coast, it's like common knowledge. GH has a facility on the West Coast. GH has a facility in West Virginia. They got East Coast and West Coast.
Right. And Europe as well, right?
That's where they get that sang at. That ginseng.
So Vermicrop's only on the West Coast. So if we can help them make the same quality products, that means GH and Vermicrop employees traveling to specific places where we make stuff and making sure that it lives up to their standards.
Yep. 100%.
Then we can make the business more efficient, and that savings translates all the way down the line. And
So
that's
you're
the way we
living
want to
up-
change things.
You're living up to Ross's Vermicrop standards. No cutting corners.
Absolutely not.
No saying, look, I could get this cheap wood chips over here. We make that as a filler, and we put it in. We're going to make $1 more a bag.
There were a few agreements that Chris and I made through the process. A few. And
Couple stipulations.
Couple. And when one was people, you know, I promised, and Larry's promised, every one of our employees a position, an opportunity, and that there was no way we were going to jeopardize what we've promised. The second was the quality of our products. I'm not willing to put my name, my face, my voice, and my integrity on a product that isn't what we've told everybody it was, what we've shown everybody it was, by trying to cut costs in raw materials or cut costs in production. So, and I look at Chris right now, and Chris will look at me and guarantee you that is not an option.
I see it's a bromance going on. You guys are locked in your eyes with each other.
I mean, if I wasn't sitting across from Matt, staring at Matt, you know what I mean?
Matt's kind of left out. Stop looking at me, Matt. I'm not down. I'm married.
And Chris is looking at Matt with a little jealousy in his eye. I can see it.
I'll continue the conversation just for a half second. There's a lot.
It's a weird shaped triangle.
I see a lot of chatter about big companies coming in making acquisitions and then trying to cut bottom line, right?
Yeah.
To increase profitability of companies. I have not heard one time, not once, from anybody in the organization, from SMG to Hawthorne all the way down. Hey, how do we buy stuff? How do we get cheaper product?
Right.
Can we create efficiencies with the same quality? Absolutely, we're going to have those discussions. 100%. But there's no discussion about how we cheapen things. There's no reason to.
Well, I'll go as far as to say is that also, like, we all know that in this industry, as soon as your product doesn't work the way it worked for me the last fucking time I used it, I'm
Absolutely.
like, fuck this crap. It just cost me a shit ton of money.
We got no margin for error.
Right. I'm trying to find something new. So all those people claiming that they're going to change everything and it's going to be different. It's like, why would they do that? Because as soon as you use, I've never bought a bottle of GH that was bad. Ever. I've bought bottles of other products that had rocks in the bottom and all kinds of weird shit going on, and it didn't work or it fucked my
That's
plants
why they called it rock nutrients. It gets cold on the Pacific Ocean, I heard.
So you basically have to maintain that level of quality, because let's face it, I mean, these are high value crops. And for a company to come in and try to cut corners and save a nickel a bag here and there, and then they fuck the whole program up, and then nobody buys it anymore. Now you own an empty skeleton of a company that once was something that people wanted. So that makes no sense from a business standpoint.
That's exactly right. GH and Vermicrop have never been under the microscope more than we are right now. So let us prove it to you. We will.
And there you go. We got some more questions. Hey, Eric, do you have any comment or any more questions?
Yeah, and so the proof is, coming from everybody in the suits of the offices and things like that is one thing. But, looking at social media right now, and it was brought up by some callers before, GH is getting tore up. I mean, people have bonfires with posters.
Yeah, Ross, that's a good point.
Haters gonna hate, player.
Ross, is your asshole hurting? Or are you wiping with hundos and it feels okay?
He doesn't have to wipe anymore. He doesn't have to wipe anymore. Someone does it for him.
Whether they're axe murderers or wife beaters or whoever these people are, they are part of the community and they are part of the business and the deal.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that are hurt, and maybe they ain't listening to the show right now. And it's important that everybody listens to the show. I've actually been putting it on Instagram on my feed and DSC and all that, so people can be informed. And I think it's great you guys came on. But is Vermicrop and GH giving flak jackets to the guys going to the garden shows and the barbecues and all that stuff? Or has GH been not invited to everything? Because I'm going up to Green Week and a few things like, some of these places where everybody displays their stuff, and I just feel like, it's going to be definitely kind of tough on the guys that have the feet on the ground, the sales guys and the people that are actually out.
Well, Eric, let's talk to the sales guys sitting over in the corner. Will and Devin. How have you guys dealt with some of the flack from the retailers, from the end users? You're on the ground. You're in the trenches. What's going on?
Yeah, there has been obviously a lot of flack and a lot of talk on social media. And, some of it's negative, some of it's positive. We take it in stride on a case-by-case basis and explain our point of view. The flack that we're getting is 95% from uneducated consumers, people that don't do their research or have a bone to pick, or the walk is a little too far from the couch to the ball on the computer, and they think a little too much. So for us and the sales guys on the ground, yeah, it's been difficult, but what we do is we tell them the truth. We say, hey, especially in the Vermicrop case, what do you want out of gardening? Not just hydroponics, but the entire industry. Do you want to see more organics? The way to do that is to support us, to prove that there's money behind it, to prove these products work, and to influence these bigger companies in a positive manner. That's what you should do. Make your decision with your checkbook, not with your Instagram feed from the competitors.
Well, and
sure. And it seems
Devin,
like Vermicrop isn't taking quite the lashing that GH.
No, they're not. Man,
GH badass as shit, bro.
Is much bigger. Devin, how do you do with it on a case by case?
This is Devin from SoCal.
Straight into the mic, just like you told your wife on.
What up, Duffy Nation? This is Devin from GH, and it's a little bit different for us because I myself have had to talk a couple of store owners off ledges and stuff, but it's mostly from things they have heard from our competitors, and those competitors are the same guys wishing that they were in this position right
That's
now.
right.
The same guys sending applications and trying to get jobs. So I mean,
See,
really, you can unfollow us on Facebook.
A lot of the
You can
criticism
take
seems
our
to be
friends away on
jealousy
Facebook.
driven or fear driven.
Absolutely.
I think, and
I
we're
mean, you
alleviating
read
the
an
fears.
article and you think you're educated now.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
reach out to us.
well-
Reach out to your reps that have always been there for you, the people that come to the stores, the people that do the customer appreciation days. Call us at Vermicrop. Call us at GH. We're here for you. We're the people that have helped build these companies, and we're still a part of it, and we're proud of where we're going. So keep coming to us. We're going to be here for you in the long run. I mean, talk to Devin.
Well, guys,
Devin's
I'm
there.
here people like Eric, people
I'll
like
be a
myself,
Huckleberry.
other store owners that are standing behind the company will continue to sell the products with a smile on their face. They are literally putting their dick on the line for you guys. So I hope you guys recognize and appreciate
We
that.
are
like you
putting
always
our
have.
dicks on the line. That's the thing. It's not just the
But my dick's
reputation
much
of
bigger.
GH. It's not the reputation of Vermicrop. It's the reputation of each and every one of us.
I got a lot more to
And
lose
we're,
over.
for us, it's worth vouching for.
Yeah, we appreciate your dicks on the line.
We are heavy tea.
They add up.
But
Hey, right on, guys. I'm gonna go. The baseball game.
Eric, get to your kids, man.
I'm freezing my ass off out here, but big ups to all you guys, and we'll see y'all soon.
Grass Valley, California. Grass Valley.
Vermicrop, my friend.
Like
tread
that's
on
the
me.
future right there. Forever Flowering Greenhouses. Check them out.
What up? Welcome back. Heavy Teas draining the main vein. I'm in here. Looks like Dr. Duff's going to probably take his seat.
What's up, man?
We're
Let him off the leash.
we're having a discussion with Hawthorne Group and General Hydroponics in studio tonight, like we promised you from the beginning.
Yeah.
We've had lots and Vermicrop. We've had lots of great calls tonight. We've had lots of people with questions. I think the questions have been solidly answered.
No, I don't think so.
We have 4 more people calling on the line,
disagree.
so I'm going to go over and pull up the next caller real
You
quick.
touch
I'll be
something
right
over
back.
here, I'll break this bottle over your head. We're gonna go ahead, touch something. Let's see what's up. What line you go to?
Ryan on line 2.
Oh, Ryan, line 2. How you doing, Ryan?
This is actually Shed. Ryan's paying for the bottles of sake at Makuni, Ross's favorite restaurant. His little brother.
Chet Larsky.
It's actually Chet to you.
It's Chet. Chet.
Chet Larsky.
Chet is kind of a bastard's name, man. Chet's kind of like the guy that dominated soccer and like didn't let me play. Chet's the guy
I definitely
that had a bigger throw in and had a bigger corner kick than me. Chet's
I
the
definitely
guy.
have
And he was
a
the older
bigger-
brother in that one weird science
most
movie.
of
Team.
everything I have is bigger than yours.
Yeah, Chet. Whatever. You're king of Shit Island, and that's
Right.
good for you, Chet. And I'm out.
Your King Turd of Shit Island is this.
Yeah,
friend.
whatever,
Right,
bro.
honestly, trying to. No, everyone needs to stop being so nice to Ross because it's just going to go to his head. It's going to blow him up. It's
Fuck
kind of
that guy.
ridiculous. I wanted to say a couple things after I've had some sake and well, I'm not going to say what company I'm with, Grobis. But
Don't worry, we'll bleep that on the recast tomorrow.
gardening woman. Hey, Ross, congratulations. Larry, congratulations. Will,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, and I've been in this business for like 2-3 weeks now, and I think that that this is one of the best things that happened to us. I sat through the last couple of years of people coming to us, presenting options and offers, and listening to a lot of public companies and the pump and dumps and all of the bad things that are bad for what happened to our industry. And I think you guys took the first step, which is the best step to something positive for retailers like ourselves. And I wanted to say, I think this is a great thing for us as retailers. And I almost cried right there when I said that.
It's probably all those V-necks you wear and all those sweater vests and shit, looking like Mr. Rogers, modern day Mr. Rogers.
What is this, Mr. fucking Cap and Tie and Knots?
That's right. This is Mr. T-shirt, sneakers, and jeans eating in a $2,000 plate restaurant, looking like a hoodlum.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
Not my chair, not my problem. Fuck you. So honestly, you guys have an okay show. I mean, kind of the best in Hydro, which is like pretty much phenomenal.
You know what's true about that statement? It's
Yes.
it's better than your show.
So yes, hey,
You haven't seen my show yet, bro.
I'm doing fireball shots for my birthday with 100 millionaires. What are you doing?
Well, I'm
He's
waiting
drinking
for
sake- he's drinking
Ross's
sake with a
brother
hooker.
To get out of the restaurant with this cheap ass bottle of sake we're trying to drink outside, watching your show on a live stream. I just wanted to see Ross. You know. I miss him. No, honestly, congratulations. I think that this is a great thing, and it legitimizes what was illegitimate. That's the sake talking. What was illegitimate for a lot of people for a long time.
What?
In the eyes of a lot of people. So.
Awesome. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, we thank you for that. Hey, and cheers to me, Horty Apocalypse 2015
Oh, mine's
Fireball
spilled.
30.
Mine's
Cheers
spilled.
to Horty and cheers to Chet.
Hey, have you? Hey, Ross.
What happened to Chet?
Yes, sir.
Hold on, he's coming back.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
Go, ahead, Grobiz.
Hey.
Hey, Hayes for horses.
Guardian Unlimited.
Cows
Chet
like the girl
Chedlar.
you're having sake with.
Hey, Ross, do you mind getting this guy a lot of crackachinos for his birthday?
Oh, crackachinos, absolutely.
Nice.
Shit.
Right,
Yeah, your little minion,
Cheers.
your little minion from Portland's getting torn up this weekend by me and Ryan Miller.
Shit. Really, bro, dude? You have nothing, dude. You guys going down.
You guys are going down.
He's got a Renault S6. What do you got?
Don't threaten me. I'll come up there.
Oh, he's
We're down.
Oh,
bro.
he's got everything he needs.
Hey, Ryan, I appreciate you calling in.
All right, bye. Peace.
Stay safe.
Later, Chet.
Who's next?
I don't know. Man, I'm kind of wasted. Look at you guys, got me all wasted on the fireball, pulled the wool over my eyes.
Whoa.
The Illuminati is in my studio.
I wonder why they kept throwing up that diamond, that triangle shape.
Who are, these hooded, who are these hooded motherfuckers in the green room?
Yeah, why is there 15 Suburbans outside with dudes with fucking suits on and earpieces?
All I know is that Calabrese is scared to leave.
Did you guys have to land your private jet in the parking lot?
Okay, come on, guys. Hey,
Next
look,
one.
here's another industry guy. Hydro Yo from the show Hydroponic Wars. Hydro Yo, what's going on?
What's up, man? What's going on, Heavy T?
Not much. You've been holding a while, dude. I seen you on Instagram, all over social media, doing big things with your stores and your show.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that, big bro.
You have a chance now to talk with Chris, Ross, Matt, Will, Devin, Saint, Calabrese, Horty Chris, myself, and Duffman.
Yeah. What's up, fellas? What's up, Horty Chris, Big Dog? What's up, man?
Dog, just keeping it cracking, dog.
No doubt, man.
Trying to live between the earth and the dirt and ain't touching the ground nowhere.
Definitely, congratulations, man, to GH and guys at Hawthorne, man. I think everything's relative to where someone's standing in the game and on what side of the fence. And I would just, I definitely got to congratulate you on that big power move. And it's like you said, this used to be an industry where you had to be invited into. And I think a big part of what we're seeing nowadays and what, I came up on is the social media aspect of it and how information is exchanged and how fast it moves.
Yep.
And like for my comrades in the retail game, we just opened a new store in Alameda, Hydro Exchange.
Congratulations.
And, even our platform, thanks. And even our platform and the way we approach the game has to be different than what it was 10 or 20 years ago. With social media, I get kids and young guys in my store that I don't know how they would have found me without it. And it's like, when they come in, they have grassroots questions. Hey, how do I set up a 4x4 tray and what have you? And a lot of stores that I think used to be able to get away without addressing those needs and questions. And if you don't provide content in your store, I believe the same way what social media is about. And that's why I'm amazed. I see some of these big companies go to Max Yield show. $1 million companies don't have a damn IG set up. And it's just amazing to me. And I'm like, that's where you're going to get the guys. Like, to give you a good example, when I posted the GH merger on my page, you're right. You had a lot of guys attacking or saying, things that didn't put the company in the best light. But I will give a salute to GH because I see those guys out on IG a lot more now. But if the company or the store is not addressing those guys on the platforms that they're on, and nowadays they're on the social media sites, if you're not out there championing your brand or your store, then, they can run away with the conversation. And I just think that for the retailer, it's the same effect in the store, man. Nowadays it's changing. We do free grow classes. I give a shout out to Eric and Harley Smith up there with Grow University. And the more you do creative stuff like that, I just feel that that's going to hold the store in there because I think like what GH is doing is what we were all, it's confirmation of where we thought the industry was going. And, to use an analogy, we were all sitting at this crap table, and that's what the industry used to be. I lost the lease that I wanted to get because the guy heard that the store was going to be a hydroponic store. And, I just was like, you know what, I'll go somewhere else with it. But it's been a whole crap table industry, and now you get some guys coming and saying, hey, I like the flow of this table, and I'm putting down 20 large and betting. And, you can't get scared of that. Let's make some money.
Yo has a great point, because now the authorities in the matter aren't the experts that have the experience. It's the experts that have 25,000 followers. And those are the people are looking at and talking about. I see companies made and broke on social media, and you can't police every single thing, but you can have a concise, direct message, get that out, and get it out quickly if you use the right avenues. Hydro, Yo, I see you all over the social media. You're basically a social media genius, player.
Oh, appreciate that, man. That means a lot coming from legends in the game like yourself and guys in there.
Well, you guys suck each other off already.
Yes, it's
just I think that's where it's going now, man. And the information changes so fast, and I'm interested in just seeing where it goes, and all the good things to come from it in the future. But definitely congratulations, man, and look forward to getting down there and seeing you guys in the studio soon.
So, Hydro Yo, you're out at your store. The Hydro Exchange, aren't you part of the Max Garden Supplies too?
No, I was briefly over there doing some work helping them guys with some rebranding and stuff. But the Hydro Exchange is
so that's you.
Pardon?
That's you right there, the Hydro Exchange.
Yeah, that's the new shop, man. Hydro Exchange right there in Alameda, and you can definitely follow us on IG at Hydro Exchange. Follow the reality show Hydroponic Wars at Hydroponic Wars on IG. We're on Facebook and Twitter, and let me give definitely a big shout out, man. Check out Cocoa Depot. The Cocoa Depot, man. We're definitely got premium cocoa in the game.
Hold on. Yo, I got to call account executive, dog. You're getting into time. This is going to cost you $100.
Oh, it's all good.
I'm just fucking with you, dude. What I want to ask you, though, if a customer comes into your store talking a bunch of nonsense that he saw on social media and he's believing these supposed authoritative sources about General Hydro, about vermicrop, how do you diffuse and how do you approach that on a hypothetical situation?
Well, a lot of it is first depending on the source where he's coming from with it. Because one thing about social media is, it's all about content again. So, you can't get away BSing people. So, first thing I want to know is where that information is coming from. And then, a company like GH, they're out there taking positive strides. They do certain contests and giveaways on their IG. I just spoke with Ryan, good friend of mine down at GH. We just gave away
Action
Bronson.
Ryan
Action Bronson.
Coasty.
Keep going, Yo. You're on.
Yeah, no, I said we just did 2 tickets to the Action Bronson concert up here in the Bay. Now, I don't know a lot of hydroponic manufacturers giving away rap tickets to a concert, and just small stuff like that is going to give them their voice in social media, and where it's basically waving their hand out there saying, hey, we're out here on social media, we're acknowledging that demographic, and that's a big part of it, man. And I just direct them to the source. So to answer your question, Heavy T, when a company like General Hydroponics is out there and they have their own platform and it's relatives, I say, hey, go check them out on their page and you can DM them. And that's the beautiful thing about it. If a person has a question, they can send a message right away and, get some response. And to piggyback off your question, the companies that are ignoring that, and like you said, you get a guy commenting something about a product, and if you're not out there to curate that information, then, the conversation gets ran away with. I like to say,
what I might say, Yo, is show me. You have all these thoughts and these facts. Show me.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to.
And for me, you've been in the industry for a long time. I've been in the industry for a long time. What I've seen is a track record that has shown me much different from a portrayal of all these haters coming through social media, which, like we'll say, time will tell. Time will tell. And I look forward to revisiting this in 12 months and seeing where we stand.
12, 24, 36, 48.
Come back all the time. You come back every week,
6.
Player.
Yeah,
shit,
sure,
dog.
Man.
Yeah, that's on the premium sponsorship level. You can be here every week.
I gotta get an email.
That's that platinum. That platinum.
You gotta fly me around the block on that G10.
Can you find a place for Devin to set up his tent?
No, Devin's not allowed, dog.
Right.
He's getting too skinny. He was part of the big boy crew. Now he's all skinny and shit. He needs to get a weight bench and some whole milk. So, Hydro Yo, man, you are a positive influence all over the hydroponic industry.
We appreciate
and you
you.
tell people what is up on the real, getting through that misinformation, much like we do here. I really appreciate what you're doing, man. We should collaborate a little bit. You know, you get at me. We'll do some stuff, get you in here. We'll talk about hydroponic wars and vice versa.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot again, and congratulations to all you and all my followers out there. Remember, check us out on Hydroponic Wars, the reality show, and check us out at the Cocoa Depot, man. Big things coming out there.
All right, we'll check you out, man. Thanks,
man.
All right,
Stay
thanks,
safe
man.
up in
Have a good
Norwalk.
one. Peace.
All right.
Who next?
Cyclops, Daytona Beach, Florida. Cyclops.
Cyclops.
Daytona. That's a
Where
great
you at,
place,
Cyclops?
man.
I know.
I was there.
Dude, homeboys have been hanging for about an hour and a half.
John's not here. John Perino was a partner in Vermicrop a long time. Sorry to step over you. We 7 years ago, in the early days of
It's all you,
Vermicrop,
dog.
spent some time in Daytona.
It's your world. I'm just trying to get a nut.
And I had to say that we had a really good time. One of my favorite memories in the early seed germination of Vermicrop was in Daytona, and I really appreciate that.
Daytona's a crazy fun place.
Yo, my brother went to
Daytona-
college down there.
Yeah, spring break
They
there.
go to
back
bike
in
week.
the-
They're there for
Hold
bike
on.
week. That's a great place.
I thought you're not supposed to talk about
Your
Daytona.
brother went to college down there? He ain't running no Hawthorne group.
Yeah, man. He's in the Army now.
There was some joke there.
Sorry,
I
man.
don't remember. I don't even know
Who
what's
else?
going
We got
on.
anybody
Don't
else?
apologize. I don't even know where I was at. Cyclops is not there.
Cyclops.
Where you at, Cyclops?
He left.
Try to get him back.
I give him all love.
He got something in his eye.
Wah, 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 wah.
Kyle.
So yeah, Chet texted me again. He said he's calling in again. Oh, this isn't Chet, is it?
No.
No, this is Kyle.
No. Hold on, dude. We need
Nah,
to. I'll open up the lines. The lines are. Kyle.
What's up, guys?
What's
How you
going
doing
on?
tonight?
So you're on. You know we're having
pretty
we're having a good time, but we're staying serious, kind of. Go ahead, Kyle.
Well, I wanted to know where
That's how it's
where
spelled,
do you
right?
see these steps taking them in the next, 3, 4, 5 years, and what their long-term goals are with making this move.
Well, this is Chris from Hawthorne. Our goal is to help them keep on growing. We love the business they're doing now. We just want to keep on growing in the way that they have been. As far as sort of long-term goals, shit, man, that's a lot of Ross's deal. So, if Ross wants to answer that,
Yeah, Ross. What are the long-term goals? You've taken over the company from Larry.
I'm just a student of him, but yes.
I'm pretty sure that all the employees have spinner wheels on. No.
Only if they're 15s, but we keep them clean.
They're getting crunk. Right. They're listening to E40. Ghost riding the whip nonstop. Just kidding, dude. Just kidding. But no, what are the goals of GH over the next decade?
The goals of GH and Vermicrop over the next decade are to provide the absolute best solutions to being the most successful gardener you can be. That's our goal.
So you're about making the gardener successful.
I'm about
which
making
in turn entails your success rather than just focusing on GH's success over the consumer's interest.
Our success is measured by a plant's growth, man.
Yeah.
That's really what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about the success of the plant. If we can provide the best option to get you the best growth, whether it be a tomato, whether it be lettuce head, whatever it is you grow,
Yes.
if we can provide that solution for a fair price, we're going to succeed.
And that's what I tell my customers when they come in and they immediately look at the price point. Well, this guy gives me 35% off, and if I have to go into a long explanation how they raise their prices 20%, give them 35% off, and they're still paying a little bit more than what I'm charging them on a fair deal, like all this stuff, it is a handful. But my goal and what I'm trying to provide is not on the come up. This is what I tell them. It's like, look, I'm not trying to come up on you a couple of dollars on this sale. What I want to do is set you up to be successful, because the comeback is so much more profitable for a long-term goal of as a business plan.
And for the
than come
customer.
up.
It's a win-win.
If you're trying to sell,
come back's better than the come up.
if you're trying to turn chicken shit into chicken soup and sell it as chicken soup to someone, yeah, you might be able to sell them that one time, but they're not going to come back. So you want to make sure that they come back. It's at a fair price, and it works, and it's easy to use. If people are successful, they will come back to that same solution.
100%.
Well, do you want a customer, or do you want a customer for life? Because GH wants a customer for life, and that's what we've been able to maintain, and that's going to continue.
That's awesome. And you have them here, guys. I have to say, like, like before, that I'm thoroughly impressed with everything, the transparency, the way that you guys are operating the business model, and hopefully continue to operate it. Right on point. Meeting with Chris, very down to earth, realistic man.
Thank you.
Has a general knowledge of the industry, going to become a lot more fine tuned as it goes deeper and deeper. And working hand in hand with these guys.
They go deep and they go hard.
There's genuity here, guys.
Hard.
These guys are genuine. And all that we've said all night is just watch and see. And
that's all we can expect, right?
I'm putting my integrity on the line.
Give us the opportunity.
You guys putting your integrities on the line. Shop owners are doing the same for you. End users are doing the same. And I know it's appreciated, and I know it's going to be rewarded in the end.
And I just want to throw in there that, you know, I first met Ross in like maybe 2007, 2008. Our mutual friend Sheldon had a booth for his quantum electronic.
Wait, you're friends with
ballast.
Sheldon? Fuck
Sometimes.
this, dude. Fuck GH.
And
He's out. He's out.
The quantum booth had enough space that they allowed Vermicrop and myself to set up our displays in their booth at that particular show. I believe it was San Francisco. And I hung out with Ross over that weekend. And since that day, the way that from the time I was introduced to him, watching his company grow, watching him take over at GH, still knowing him, seeing him out there all the time, he never has changed to me. He was just as cool to me from day one when we were sharing a booth with Quantum to where he had his own booths and now is the CEO of GH, and he's always been a down-to-earth guy, and I've never seen him do shady business practices that would make you skeptical of someone. So, you know, I can't speak for everyone, but I know that when I first had my first display, I was in the same booth with Ross, and he's never been any different to me or anyone else that I've known of for that amount of time, even with all of his success. And I think that that's hard to do when you become successful. So, you know, that's just what it is.
Much love. Thank you, brother.
Hey, I'm on my A game acquisition, fool.
Preach it.
Trying to do
Oh,
it.
man.
Hey, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, brother.
Hey, Kyle. Kyle, Florida. I appreciate you calling in, man. I'm going to send you some gifts. I'm going to send you some of those Uber nutrients, some of that FDS and RNA for a foliar system. You want to grow that fire? Uber's got the gas. Check it out at ubergrower.com. Okay, dude?
Yeah, I appreciate you guys' time. You guys have a good night.
All right, brother. Hey, all right, guys. This has been one hell of a show, but
sayonara.
We do have lives outside of this studio. Real quick, I'll get to both of you, but I wanted to give Will a chance just to tell people about the new dries that are out from Vermicrop, Vermi Organics.
Thank you.
Just hit the market. Great packaging, by the way.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
It makes me reminds me how I was on food stamps getting that milk at cafeteria
Yeah, it
time.
isn't a milk carton. It's
Are you gonna have missing children on there?
Only you, man. Only you.
Chet, just we're missing
I
Chet.
haven't found my way yet.
We're gonna put Ryan on there as missing grow show.
Yeah, the new dry organic line is really exciting for us. We've been developing it for over 2 years now. We're already bringing in the highest quality nutrients used in our soil. We've been sourcing them and the most reliable sources we can find with the most sustainable practices. We're using those same dry nutrients now in these blends. And these blends, again, have been tested for 2 years, not only in our research and development facility in Vermicrop at GH, but in many gardens, including my own. And the results have been phenomenal. It's all organic certified in the state of California. It is a really amazing blend of the top quality dry nutes, and it's easy. It's easy for really amazing results. You top dress, you water in, and you can rely on that backbone of slow release dry organics.
Yeah, and for the guerrilla gardeners, the guys that are going out, it's a lot easier to carry dries than liquids, guys.
Very true.
You know, you got to get on
Liquids
it.
are great too.
Contact any one of the Vermicrop Vermi Organics distributors to learn more about all the great products. Can you just give us a line of the products? Is it Grow, Bloom, Boost? What is it?
Yeah, exactly. There's a Vermi Veg fertilizer, Vermi Bloom fertilizer, a PK Boost. That's a soluble organic hardener and ripener, which we haven't seen in our industry before. Then a all-purpose fertilizer. So a great complete line, everything you need to grow. And I would always say it complements very well with some liquids as well, such as General Organics.
Well, how does it work for indoor gardeners, because a lot of guys don't like to use organics because some of the sources are stinky, so they don't use them indoors. Are these extremely stinky? Are they mainly for outdoor guys? What?
No, they can be used both indoor or outdoor. You know, they are organic, so there always could be a stink, of course. But if you're a true gardener, your passion's
I
plants.
just tell the customer that smells like money.
Yeah, exactly. If you like the smell of money, you like the smell of this fertilizer, because it works fantastic indoors and outdoors. It's about the plants. It's not about your smell and your room.
Well,
you know,
some of us do have wives and women that we want to come over.
They say that until you give them a nice present with the money you made off it. So remember, buy your girl diamonds with the money you make off that shit.
I still get told,
fuck, don't buy a
you
chick
smell
shit.
like a shot.
You buy her some shoes so she can walk out on you.
Okay, right now, Will, where do they go to learn more about those products?
Vermicrop.com. Call us on our 800 number, 800-994-8775. You can always ask for me, Will. Love talking gardening, and we will always hook you up with some free stuff if you want to call in and try our stuff out.
Nice. Ross, you had something to say?
Yeah, I heard a couple times earlier, that our industry is a niche industry. And, you can't really get in here unless you're invited. And I agree with you. This is a niche industry.
It was like that.
It kind of
was.
People go through the ringer.
I have to say, though, what?
Easy, Chris. I mean, that might not be expensive for you, but for us, it costs a lot of damn money, player.
That's not the Chinese knockoff. That's the real deal.
That's the real deal. The stand is an extra $400.
I have to say that I don't know a better invitation into this industry than if it comes from Larry Brooke.
Yes.
Larry Brooke invited
He
Jim
made it.
Hagedorn and Chris Hagedorn and the SMG and the Hawthorne family into this industry. And I have to say that he would not have done that if he didn't feel it was great, wonderful, and amazing for the people of this industry itself, and gardeners.
Well, he's made multiple $100 million companies, not just that he owns, but the people he associates with for one hydro farm.
And I'll back that up with, everybody says, Larry Brooke took a big check. Everybody sold out, blah, blah.
Sold out?
No one in this industry, not one person, and I will challenge anybody, has been more.
For $130, I'll cut my dick off and try to glue it back on.
$130?
$130.
I've got it in my wallet.
Fuck, I got that shit.
130 here, 135, 135 in the going down. No, but seriously,
more giving to the cause, the real roots of this industry than Lawrence Brooke. More giving.
Put the power in the right people's hands, and
I'm talking about green tomatoes here.
Yes.
More giving and more charitable to the cause of this industry than Lawrence Brooke.
Yes, absolutely. And absolutely right. And that's why he hasn't been allowed to come on the show.
PR said no.
Yes, no, but awesome gentleman, great dude to talk with. Does sincerely have an altruistic agenda of perpetuating the cause. I don't think he would enter into this deal unless he wasn't of sound mind, but Larry is as sharp as ever. Ross can testify, Matt can testify, Chris, everyone, that this is good for the industry, everyone. You're in the middle of a green rush. Enjoy selling the pickaxes and the shovels to all the people thinking they're mining gold, because you're the real ones that are going to get rich and have some longevity. Some continuity of what you have already been doing. So a big round of applause to the guests coming in and being very candid with
Heavy
us.
T, thank you, Heavy T.
Thank you very much.
And Hardy Chris,
appreciate it.
Good shit. We do have a matter of a grand prize to give out, which includes... No, come on, bro. Give me some Olympic music.
What are they going to get? What are they getting?
Includes a 1,000-watt grow light from Grow Light. GROWLIT, Grow Light, that's right. A combo meter from Blue Lab, that's a $300 value. Some of the brand new Cocoa Tech A and B, both the Grow and the Bloom from GH, a cocoa-specific nutrient with all the calcium and magnesium your cocoa plants need. Hold on, getting a note from Matt over here. Let me see. I'm not doing anything except trying to do a show. Your handwriting is horrible.
Only here, so I don't.
False.
So it says reminder. Spend 10 times more on Heavy T. Give him
misinterpretation.
Power grower. Why don't you just talk? You got a microphone.
Yeah, get a power grower too. You get a power grower.
Yeah, will Matt throw in some shit on top of this guy's shit? All right.
That's a power grower.
And you get a Min of GH calendar.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing. Look for May. That's Devin.
You have an honorary membership to the Illuminati. We have a granddaddy pad.
We'll throw in a box of this new dry organic fertilizer.
Your
I was
own
talking about
private
as well.
condo in the reestablishment community
have-
under the Denver International
we have some
Airport when they bomb the
Terpinator-
Earth.
On Chris's credit card.
All right, turn everyone's mic off.
Take it to Hortipocalypse.
Get those chemtrails.
We have some Terpinator, some Smart Pots, some FDS, and some RNA. It's not every day you get to turn the mic off of 100 Millionaires. But I did, because I'm heavy T. That's my shit. Yeah, dog. Yeah, so what? I can afford the mat under the carpet. Yeah, my back's hurting. I'm fat. What? Chicken butt. Anyways. So, Horty Chris, after all this, what's the grand prize question?
The grand prize question is, where am I celebrating my birthday this weekend?
You didn't even say it.
Yes, I did.
Peru?
Everybody knows.
Colombia.
No, you called it.
Costa Rica.
Yeah, somewhere like that.
It's somewhere that's going to be fascinating on 420.
It's in a free state. There's your clue.
There you go.
One of the free states of
Where's
America.
Horty Chris celebrating the Horty Apocalypse? 562-653-0707. Phone lines are now open. Big thank you to all of our guests. Awesomeness. We're going to go out and get more safe, a little bit more drunk, try and take these guys to the dirtiest strip club they ever seen. Kylie Breeze, you got that right? Dog. This is the strip club that you go to the trap house in Compton, but it's all right because you was Heavy T, and Heavy T's got a hood pass, right, Kylie Breeze?
And the tuna melt's only $3.95 there, and they toast it.
Kylie Breeze got chopped up by an AK-47. This ain't no one to fuck with here. All right, here we go.
DFZRadio.com.
Heavy T Road.
You're listening to DFZRadio.com.